Hello friends, 782 days over. Russia is today celebrating its Russian Army's Air Defense Day. Let us see what is happening in the southern war zone, starting from Kherson side. Krinky Bridge had no changes. In Zaporizhia, towards Rabotino, where Russians hold 30% of the village, fierce battle is going on. Russians made some advance. The fight is for the center of Rabotino. While Verbov, no changes. However, between Rabotino and Verbov, Russians are made advance of almost 300 meters. Rimivki salient, fight is on towards western Staromayorsky and also towards Eurozane. In east on Marinka front, Russians advanced almost 200 meters in Novomikhail while fight is continuing for Masy Nostroitel, where Russians hold 80% and made some more advance. Now it seems very shortly the Russians will be carrying out offensive operations towards Parasko-Vivka. Pobeda fight is on, no changes, where Russians hold 90%, while west of Marinka, that is Georgievka, the fight is continuing. Russians have made some small advance, holding almost 20% of this village. In north of it, towards Krasnogorovka, some minor gains for the Russians in late night. Avdiivka Nevelsky direction, Russians made some gain. Pervomaisky, which is under Russian control now, no further advance. Netailovo, Russians made almost 200 gains, while towards Yasno Brodovka, Russians made some gains. Umansky, Russians advanced a little bit, while fight is continuing for Seminovka, where they hold 70%. Berdichi, which is almost under Russians' control, they made some more gains. Towards Novokalinovka, heavy offensive operations by the Russians continuing. Good advance by the Russians towards Bakhmutovka and reached almost on the outskirts of Okeretino. Bakhmut on southern flank, Klishivka, Russians made some advance towards northwest of this village. Chasiv Yar sector, Krasnoy directions, which is almost under Russians' control, they made some more gains. They also made some small gains towards the eastern sector and north, where they advanced almost 100 meters. Good gains for the Russians towards Kalinovo, where they advanced 300 meters close to the outskirts, while Bogdanovka remains under Russians' control. North of Soledar, that is Siversk sector, Vimki direction, Russia advanced 100 meters, while they also made gains towards Verkhny Kaminsky direction, Belgorovka. The fight is continuing for Quarry Heights, where Ukrainians' counter-offensive made some gains as per ISW. In north towards Swatovo-Kremina directions, Russians made again some gains towards east of Terny, once again as per ISW, while in Kupiansk direction, no changes despite heavy battle since weeks for Sinkoka. Interdiction missions continuing from both the sides as before. Palestine Israel, Middle East. Iranians' attack is significant because of number of drones, missiles that were used, though most of them were intercepted by US, UK, French forces and also by Israel and Jordanian air forces. Few ballistic missiles did land at Nevatin Air Base, causing some minor damages, which is still under operations. Iran claimed to have succeeded in its mission. Iran used older version of UAVs missiles. This is a surprise. They did not use any hypersonic missiles. A rough calculation which is floating in media says that Iran lost almost 35 million using their drones and missiles, while the allied services to counter them lost $1.35 billion. Israel is unlikely to counter and revenge Iranians' attack in near future. Nonetheless, they will continue hitting Lebanon, Syria. Let us see how it unfolds in future. Today morning report, after recovering from Iranian attack, IDF restarted striking northern Gaza and even in southern sides towards Rafah and Khan Yunis direction. Hezbollah fired 100 rockets and IDF counteracted it. Zelensky condemned Iran's attack on Israel, saying that the Ukrainians know well the shock of Iranians' UAVs, which is being used by the Russians against Zelensky's people. Well, that is enough for the day. As far as India is concerned, the peak is on as far as election campaigning is going on from both the sides, and quite dirty part is being exposed. Well, that brings an end to my talk today. Thank you, friends.